After promising a national food plan during last year's election, this week the federal government gave a glimpse of what might be in it with the release of an issues paper. And there are a lot of issues to consider when trying to work out how to double food production by 2050 to meet global demands while protecting fragile resources. International and local experts say Australia could be a leader in securing global food supplies by exporting its farming and agricultural science smarts as well as its produce. But there are also warnings that the country is not immune from a global food crisis and the instability that comes with it. Kerry State filed this special report.
In the next 40 years, we have to produce as much food as the world has produced in the last 500 years.
You can work out in the back of an envelope that we're not going to have enough food in 20 years' time by far.
We're running out of water, we're running out of oil, we're running out of agricultural science and technology, we're running out of fish, we're running out of stable climates. So all of those things playing together are creating greater insecurity in the world's food supply at a time when demand is poised to double.
Baby spinners and salad mix. All $2 here, guys. You want some?
Faced with such abundance and variety, serious food shortages may seem unlikely to many shoppers in Australia.
South Australia.
But a growing chorus of experts say it's a crisis that is real and, if ignored, far-reaching.
Our level of certainty over food security is that we are in trouble and we need to do something about it now.
It's a challenge that has confronted food producers before.
Those who now say that food is not the problem, I say it will be a continuing problem.
In the 60s and 70s, the so-called Green Revolution, led by plant scientist Norman Borlaug, more than doubled agricultural outputs by using more water, fertiliser, pesticides and higher-yielding crop varieties. It helped feed the world for 40 years and reduced poverty, but it also took a toll on the resources we rely on for food.
So we do need another revolution, but it cannot be in the same vein as in the past. It has to be a revolution built on resource use efficiency, using our resources much more efficiently, but still have the production increases needed to meet the demand.
So what is Australia's role in this greener green revolution?
Australia never has been and never will be a food basket or a food bowl of the world. The reality is that we produce food for 60 million people, we feed 22 million odd at home and 40 million overseas. But put in a global context, that 40 million that we feed overseas represents less than 3% of global food movements. How Australia contributes to food security globally is through knowledge, training and technology transfer.
We're very good at farming. We're very, very good at food production. We have better knowledge about how to handle difficult climates, droughts and floods and things like that than almost anyone else in the world. And in a time of climate change, that's exactly the kind of knowledge that you need.
In this high-tech plant breeding centre in Adelaide, the search is on for hardy crops that will produce more from less to feed a world population that's predicted to rise by more than 2 billion by 2050.
It is a bit nerve-wracking, genuinely. Over the last 50 years, we've increased the amount of food produced on the planet by 32 million tonnes a year. We have to increase that rate of increase, if you're still with me, from 32 to 44 million tonnes a year.
With a name like Plant Accelerator, this facility sounds like a promising place to begin.
We're able to do things that haven't been possible before.
It doesn't make the crops grow any quicker or bigger, but scientist Mark Tester says the information collected here will speed up the breeding process.
To be able to use digital imaging technologies, computer technologies and robotics to look at how plants grow. That's completely new. We used to use rulers and not much more, maybe weigh a plant and destroy it in the process of studying it. Here we can non-destructively watch plants grow and die and how that's affected by the environment and their genetic makeup.
The professor and his colleagues are trying to create plants that are drought-resistant, salt-tolerant, or use nitrogen more efficiently.
Scientists have been tweaking crops for years and years and years. Is there a limit to how much you can do to these crops? Are we reaching that ceiling?
I think there is a limit. There's a limit to only how much light those plants can absorb and convert it to starch in their grain. But I think we're still a long way from that limit.
The centre's using both conventional breeding and the more contentious genetic engineering to push those boundaries.
We've had the tools of education and improving agricultural systems and improving conventional breeding. We've been throwing those tools at the problem very